Obooters from around the world. My name is Anya and I am 14 years old. I live in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Welcome to our Oboot Zoom session where me and my co-host Nkoyo, who is 9 years old and lives in Johannesburg in South Africa, will be interviewing our guest changemaker Yogesh Kumar, who is currently based in the United States in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Yogesh Kumar is a social entrepreneur. He's the founder and CEO of Evencargo, India's first women-drive e-commerce logistics company and a social enterprise that employs women from marginalized communities and provides them with job opportunities as women delivery personnel. He is currently attending the Harvard Kennedy School. Yogesh's work links to several sustainable development goals, especially to Goal 5, gender equality. Nkoyo and I will ask questions to Yogesh about his background, his journey, his work, his skills. We hope that you will enjoy this session, and I will now start with our first question to our guest. Can you please tell us a little bit about you and what you do for work?
Thank you so much, Anya. Thank you so much, Nkoyo. It's a pleasure to be here talking to you. My background, I come from India. I'm a social entrepreneur. That's what I do for a living. I teach at a university back in India as well. So these are the three major things that I do. I study, entrepreneurship, and teaching. Yeah.
So Yogesh, when did you start your business?
Thank you, Nkoyo. I started the organization in 2016, which is like 6 years back. And on 9th, like day after tomorrow, we will be celebrating our 6th foundation day. So yeah, just 2 days away from it. And it has been a great experience. I was pretty young when I started the organization. I'm not so young now.
Okay.
Do you see your company more as a business or a public service?
The idea of starting the company was to address the cause of gender inequity. So the business part came later on. The idea was never to start a business. We wanted to make Delhi and India a safer place for women. The idea was to give equal opportunities to women for economic empowerment and social upliftment. So in Delhi, public spaces are not equally accessible by male and female. So obviously male have much more access to public spaces than female. So the idea was that we can make a city much safer if we can allow access to public space by women, taking it up from where it is right now. So then we thought that what can we do? So there are several ideas that came to our head. We tested one and we failed at it. Then Evencargo was the second idea. So the idea was that women should have equal access to public space. So when they're riding the scooter, they go on road, they access public space, they use public utilities. So that was their exposure, their access to public space increases. The second idea was that we should bring women into professions that have been traditionally inaccessible to them. Like we see this, even sports. So there are notions that, this sport is meant for males to play, this sport is meant for women to play. So in that sense, we didn't want to have that kind of demarcation. We wanted for women and for men to choose any sport, any education stream that they would want to study, or for that matter, the employment opportunities that they want to take, basis their interest and not their gender. So the kind of job that we trained women for, which is like delivery, has always been associated with boy. So you would always say delivery boy. We never question ourselves, like, why delivery boy? Why can't it be delivery girl? So we are just trying to make the entire space of logistics and supply chain more accessible to women so that they can also get employment opportunities in this space. And the gender norms that women cannot do delivery job, we should do away with it. And we should sort of, believe and also reflect in it should also reflect in our action that anybody can do anything that they want to.
So My aunt says you work with women. I'm just wondering, do you work also with men or you don't?
Oh, so there are different initiatives. One is Evencargo, which only caters to women. We also have an initiative called Delhi Open Your Eyes, wherein we engage with both men and women on gender-related issues. So we conduct workshop, we ask people what do they think about gender roles in our society, what a man can do, what a woman can do, all those things. So we have those discussions. We also bring in people from different strata of the society, both including male and female. We make them have discussion with each other. We hear their perspective. We tell them what we feel. So we create a safe space for both the genders to talk to each other and also to share what they feel is wrong or right in the current setting that we operate in.
Okay.
How many women does your company employ and what is your target?
Oh, so when we started in 2016, we just had 2 women in the initial 6 months of our operations. Now we have over 150 women, around 180-ish, say, on a daily basis, who are working with us. And we aim to take the number to a much higher level. But right now, these are the number of women who are directly employed with us. But we have been able to generate employment for women which crosses, say, over 700, 800 women, but they're not working with us. So we train them, they're working with some other organization or they're working on their own. But around 700, 800 women have already been trained by us on two-wheeler riding. So even if they're not working, they're mobile. They can choose to work anywhere. The idea was never to make them work with us. The idea was to allow them to have opportunity for livelihood so that they can work anywhere.
Okay. So what do you think about climate change?
Climate change is a pressing problem. I mean, this is something we all should work to address. And with Evencargo, we have now shifted to electric vehicles. So no longer we will be using vehicles that pollute our environment. So by 2025, in another 2-3 years, all our fleet will be electric vehicles, and we will not be polluting our Mother Earth anymore.
What is the average pay that delivery women expect to earn in your company?
Oh, wow. So the sector that we operate in, unfortunately, is known for paying lesser salaries to men, let alone women. So the job hours are pretty long. They work for long, 12, 16, 18 hours as well at times. They carry like a heavy load on their back, because you would see, the Amazons or the Flipkart, the Walmarts or any other big company, you would see people carrying a lot of weight on their back when they come and deliver for you. So all these things are there. But we in our company, we make sure that we pay good wages to women. By good, I mean that whatever government has decided as per the skill set of an individual, we pay that amount or more than that. So on an average, our women get paid 15% more than their male counterpart for the same job that they're doing. So we are equal pay, fair wage company. We pay equally to our women as per the government norms.
Does any of your family members work with you, and why?
Oh, my family members. No, none of my family members work with me, but initially they supported me a lot in setting up the company, in help me with day-to-day work. So I got immense support from my family members, both in terms of financial and non-financial support. And it's because of them that I could do whatever I did.
I saw in your video that you had like a tracking device for women if they ever got lost. So how effective has the tracking device been in ensuring the safety of women? And has it ever failed for any reasons?
The tracking device hasn't failed us till now. So we have had a very good experience with using technology to ensure safety of the women who are working with us. And it has been a good experience till now. So no complaints.
When you started this business, how did it start? Like, did it start like really small? Did people now want to join? That stuff.
Yeah, Nkoyo, that's a problem. You have to convince a lot of people that this can be done. So we started really small. So I was the only one in my company when I started. Then someone else joined, then we were 2, then we were 3, and now we are like hundreds of us working towards creating a gender just society, and hopefully we will someday. But yeah, I started really small. Yeah.
How does your company determine which areas are safe and which areas are unsafe?
Great question, Anya. So we basically run a series of tests whenever we want to sort of expand to a new geography, which includes data from the law enforcement department as to which areas are safe, which areas are unsafe. We also rely upon the data from the e-commerce companies we are catering to. They already have experience of running operations in that particular area, so we rely on that. And third, we also are working towards doing geofencing, which means that we will try to limit the movement of our delivery associate within a geography, and would want to deploy more technology. We are using tracking right now, but geofencing will help us track them further for their own safety. So yeah, these are the series of things that we do. Initially, when we started, we would not deliver during the night time. We still don't do, but we only deliver during, say, between 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. of sorts, depending which which part of the year we are delivering. So in that sense, we take all the precautions that we can to make sure that women are safe while delivering.
So your building of your company,
Okay.
did it start like a different, and then it looks different, and then you upgrade it, like you add this and then you add that, etc.
So you are saying like whether we started with something else and then we added few things to become something else? Yes, we did. So when we conceptualized the idea, we wanted to train women for driving job. So by driving, I mean that we wanted to create a by women for women cab service, but we failed at it. And then we started Evencargo, wherein we asked women to deliver parcels. So yeah, we started something else and then we became something else. And who knows, we become something else few years down the line.
What are the different types of goods or products that are transported by your company?
So Anya, we are in last mile logistics. So last mile logistics is the last end. So when you order a parcel, when you order any product for yourself, it goes from point A to point B to point C, and then ultimately it reaches a warehouse nearby your place. So when the parcel reaches the nearest warehouse to your place, our job is to get that parcel from the warehouse and deliver it to you. So that is called the last mile. So that's what we do. We are in last mile logistics. So anything that you order from e-commerce website, in 10 cities of Delhi, you might find our delivery girl coming and delivering it to you. So we deliver all kind of products which can be ordered on e-commerce website, barring heavy products. So if you order a fridge or say a sofa set, perhaps we will not be delivering that because it requires a different kind of infrastructure for which we are not equipped right now.
What gave you the idea of starting your company?
Oh, what gave me the idea? I think it's upbringing, perhaps what I have learned from my mother, my sisters, other female friends around me, because of which I saw a lot of potential in what women can do, what girl can do. And I think given an opportunity, they can prove themselves. So when I started, there was no concept of delivery boy then. So delivery girl. So only delivery boy existed. So I think that women were capable of delivering. And through data, we have been able to prove that women make equal or at times better delivery associates than their male counterparts. So it's because of the family that I started this thing. They are my inspiration, they are my motivation, and it's because of them wherever I am.
You said you deliver from like either like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So Delhi has extreme temperatures and high rates of pollution. So are there any measures that your company takes to ameliorate these?
Yeah, so we deliver in Jaipur, we deliver in other parts of India as well, including Delhi. But in Delhi, you are right that temperature is extreme. So during summers, barring say 2-3 months when there is winter season, we usually deliver from 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. But during winters, the sun usually sets at around 6 p.m. So we halt our operations at 6 p.m. Whenever the sun sets. So we usually try not to deliver during the night time. So yeah.
What kind of competition does your company face, and how would you rate your company's performance in revenue, profit, or growth as compared to other companies?
We are doing good, both in terms of revenue and growth. Our numbers are pretty good, both in terms of growth that we have seen over the past couple of years and revenue as well. But unfortunately, because of COVID last year, we also got affected and it took us some time to get back to our feet. But things are improving and we are performing at par with our competition in the logistics space.
What will it take for other companies to follow your model?
I think we are happy to share our model with anyone, be it companies operating in India or outside. The idea is to increase women participation in the labor workforce, to provide them jobs which ensures dignity. So these are the things that we are more concerned about, not how much we grow and how much we scale. So any company which would want to employ women, we are more than happy to help them in employing women. Any company which is facing any problem with the retention of women, we are happy to do that. We have done extensive research. We have our own tools, techniques. We have a retention vertical in our company, which makes sure that women who get into such kind of job role also stay. So we have different means, different sort of schemes for women. We support them well beyond their working hours to make sure that they get required support and a very conducive environment for them to work. So I think we are happy to help any company who is looking to diversify their workforce.
What is the age range of women working in your company?
Typically, it ranges between 18 to 38. So that's the minimum and the maximum that we have seen. But on an average, the women who are working with us are around 20 to 23 years old.
So you said you want to support women in any way like possible. So does your company provide any babysitting facilities to help and encourage working mothers?
Yeah. So we don't have our own facility, babysitting, but we have connection and ties with organizations which help them. We provide that facility. We also help them to provide them with flexible working hours. So we have a working mother who is working with us. She is a single mother. So what she does is that in the morning, she picks up her kid, a baby boy, 8-9 years old, drops him to the school at around 7, 8 a.m. and then reports to work, works for 5 hours. At 1 or 2, she goes back to her kid's school, pick the kid up and then come back to her place. So she only works for 5-6 hours. We have created that space for her to work during the hours which is more feasible for her, so that she can also take care of her household responsibilities and also work at the same time, can earn her living. So we have different things, different programs that we do to support women, both single mothers and single women, to help them stay in the job.
As you said, the work hours were flexible for some people, but do they get the average amount of salary?
So if they are working for say 8 hours or more, so the maximum that they can work is 10. We don't allow anyone to work beyond 10. So after 8, you get overtime. But if they're working for 8 hours, they will get whatever the minimum support salary is as per the government norms. But if they're working flexi hours, we pay them flexi pay. So if they're working for 3 hours, they get paid for 3 hours. If they're working for 5 hours, they get paid for 5 hours, which is still more than what their male counterparts are paid.
As you shared one story of a woman employee that was a single mother, would you like to share another story of how a woman employee was empowered by your company?
There are countless stories, Anya, but I can definitely share one more story. So there's this girl called Tabassum. She comes from Nizamuddin area of Delhi, and she is one among 9 siblings in her place. Her father is a cook. So he earns around 9,000 rupees, which is around $120 that they earn. And she knew how to ride a scooter, but she did not have a job. So now she approached us, she got trained, and she started earning. And you can imagine that she has increased her family income by over 100%. So now she was earning $120 before. Her father was earning $120. Now she herself is earning over $200. So her family income has gone up by over 100%, and now she can support her siblings, can go back to school, attend school, and can also support her family in other ways, her father as well. So, and there are countless stories like this.
Have you had any downsides in your business?
Downsides? Yeah, there are many. Because whenever we go to a new station to start our operations, we have to convince all the people there that women can actually deliver and women can also work. So that is always a struggle. So we have to convince everyone, every time, every new city we scale to.
Before we end our interview, I have one last question for Yogesh. Do you have any advice for a young person who wants to become a change maker?
I think just be focused on the purpose that you feel. I mean, that you feel is your calling. So if you feel that you want to work in a particular area, just think about doing an impactful work in that particular area. I think a lot of time, the inertia to start something is so big that we don't start. So I would suggest anyone who want to do anything in the social impact space to just start. And once you start, things will start falling in place, and you will realize that what is good for you, what is not good for you, what works, what doesn't work. Because unless you hit the ground, there are very limited opportunities that you can have while working in the development space. You need to be on ground to make sure that to understand things better and to design interventions that are more impactful.
Thank you, Yogesh and Nkoyo, for the great discussion and for all things we learned today. Thank you, Abooters, for listening to this interview. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can hear about upcoming sessions with other change makers. Please also tell your friends about Oboot and share our social media links with them. And last but not least, go to oboot.com to learn about opportunities to collect digital badges and help us plant trees. Thank you.